With many years of paranormal investigating under our belt, there has been some amazing evidence collected from some amazing locations. Many of these locations have not been featured in any video from 4State Paranormal, nor do all of our investigations make it to haunting history. We are opening the vault and bringing you inside some of our most memorable investigations and telling you our story firsthand. So take a trip with us as we explore our haunted past.
My name is Barry Tidwell, investigator, videographer, and resident demonologist for 4State Paranormal. And this is my story. So what got me interested in the paranormal? Well, a bunch of things kind of just strung along together throughout my lifetime to kind of lead me to get into investigating, these unknown things out there. Well, the first one of those, occurrences happened to start in Arlington, Texas. And just like any kid, I liked, kind of doing things every once in a while that my parents may not want me to do. And one of those was staying up late. One night, I decided to stay up late. After the parents went to bed, I got up, clicked the TV on, and as I was watching TV, I happened to notice something out of the corner of my eye. I look, and I see Freddy Krueger. He gives a sinister smile, and then he shows me his glove with all the knives on it, and then proceeds to walk into my parents' bedroom. Well, just like any other kid, I freak out, I jump up, I run into the hallway, look into my parents' bedroom, and there's nothing. But my parents fast asleep. Well, I didn't know what to think at that moment, because I was raised Southern Baptist, and all that I knew was of heaven and hell, angels, demons. There were none of these roaming spirits or any of that such going on out there. Well, let's fast forward a few years later. We ended up moving back to this little town in southwest Missouri called Monette. While we were living in the trailer park, I ended up, becoming fascinated with this TV show that was out at the moment called Unsolved Mysteries. So one late night, I was sitting there by myself, and they just so happened to be showing an episode of this, unsolved ghost happening. Something that had happened a long time ago. Well, all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see a figure, and I look at it again, and it's this old lady in these curlers, this big old flowery nightgown, and she just proceeds to walk into the hallway. Well, I get up to go investigate, walk down this hallway, look in my room, look in my brother's room, look in the bathroom, and this old lady was nowhere to be found. About 2 weeks later, my good friend, of whom's mother we had bought the house off of, ends up coming to stay the night. While he was staying there, I ended up telling him about what I had seen a few weeks prior. Well, his eyes got immensely large. They were just huge. And he proceeds to tell me that I just described his grandmother. And another fact was that she passed away in my bedroom. Well, later on I moved to a town called Carthage, Missouri. This is where I would meet a good buddy of mine, Jeremy Boyd. Well, while living in Carthage, I started working at this call center in Joplin. That's where I met Jeremy Boyd at. We got to talking and on breaks and in downtime, things like that, about some of our experiences with the paranormal and spirituality and things like that. Well, he ended up telling me what he did on the weekends, and that was to investigate this location out in Coffeyville, Kansas, as well as other random places. So I was very intrigued, and I let him know. I was like, hey, If you guys ever need someone else to come out with you, I would be more than happy to, come out and give it a try. Well, we come to my first investigation with 4-State Paranormal, which so happens to be a hosted investigation for the Brown Mansion in Coffeyville, Kansas. This place was wonderful from the start. I looked at it whenever I got there, and it was just an amazing sight. So, at this investigation, we have quite a few people, and we ended up going room to room throughout the night, and eventually made it down into the basement. Well, we had gathered some evidence throughout the night, and Dave wanted me to go up and review some of the audio. What we like to do is kind of review some audio throughout the night to see if we could find any of those hot spots where we may get more paranormal activity. So after he gets me set up with the audio and everything, he goes back down with the group into the basement. I start to bring up all the audio to try to review it, and next thing I know, the computer starts shutting down on me to where it completely blacks out. So once all equipment shut down on me, I try to figure out, what was the cause of it, how I could get it back up, because nothing was turning back. So I couldn't figure this out, and eventually Dave came back upstairs with the group of people that we were with, and to see what kind of evidence that I had uncovered. I proceeded to tell him what had happened to me. Well, we look around, the computer is actually plugged in to an outlet, so there shouldn't have been any power issue there. And he walks over and clicks the power button on the computer, and it just powers up. Well, the rest of the group just was either laughing or gasping, because while down in the basement, Dave decided to tell whatever is in that location to come upstairs and mess with me. Well, my first investigation with 4-State Paranormal was awesome, and it led to many more investigations as well as many more experiences. So what's up in store for the future of 4-State Paranormal? Well, I hope we keep pushing those boundaries and keep innovating and creating things to try to find the answers behind these paranormal activities that happen out in the world. I'm also really excited that we're going to be starting filming of Haunting History Season 4 here real soon, and with me and the rest of 4-State Paranormal, it's always great to be able to do these episodes to give everyone more history about locations around the U.S. to try to keep these places preserved. What's in store for me? Well, I hope to keep my studies up with my demonology, because I always like to know what is going on at these locations that we arrive to, and I always love to be ready, kind of the part Boy Scout in me, always be prepared. So I just want to keep those studies up, as well as advancing my videography skills to hopefully be able to present great footage, documentaries, evidence with not only my business, but also with haunting history and 4-State's Paranormal.